welcome to my video. My name is Alicia and this video is a week in my life as a fashion student during deadline week. For this project we had a live brief with HIUT Denim, which makes high quality jeans in Wales in a more sustainable manner. We were expected to, throughout this project, find ways to make it more accessible for the youth. Here I'm using the lightbox to draw onto my designs and layer up and adjust anything as I go. Textiles is my forte, so I was playing in the digital stitch room and spending a lot of time with embroidery and soluble fabrics, doing some sampling. So here I am just with my friends and they have joined me as I am working on some flats. In the town that HIUT now produces denim, the factory had closed down several years ago and they have now been trying to bring cardigan back those jobs that had been lost. Many people in my home city also lost jobs to the closure of the chocolate factory, which also affected my family as they had also been employed there. And that is how my whole project ended up revolving around chocolate, specifically the Elizabeth Shaw Mint Crisp chocolate. Speaking of food, mandatory food break. It had gone midnight, so now it's Tuesday and I just continued working on my honeycomb designs. As those who are unfamiliar with the Elizabeth Shaw Mint Crisp, they are chocolates that are hexagonal in nature and have a minty layer as well as a honeycomb layer, and that really resonates with my upbringing and my childhood, so I wanted to bring that into my designs and bring that youthful side of me out. So I've been doing this the whole time. I realised that I did some of mine with stitching on, and I remembered after that it's a knit fabric, so it literally doesn't even need stitching. I wasted so much time. Hey guys, it's literally like 3 AM. What time is it? It's like 3:30 or something.
Yeah, it's 3:15.
We've been dancing for an hour or so. I don't want to have a sleepover. Like, instead of doing an all-nighter for work, we're literally having a sleepover, and that is not what we're supposed to do. I just want to keep dancing, but we need to stop. We were doing Just Dance. We were...
There's you, no one, nothing else. Down in it deep, no one can tell. When you fall, I fall as well. What's getting in the way? Probably how I behave. So would you?
It's now about 8 in the morning and I have so much left to do. So my friends have just left. They're gonna walk home now that it's gotten bright, and I've done my basic line drawings. I started those line drawings about 14 hours ago, so that took far longer than it should have. I got more comfortable with using Illustrator as I went, so I got faster and faster per garment. The first one for sure took me far too long, and definitely the longest, and then I was readjusting things as I went through and fixing old things and realizing mistakes that I had. I have a presentation at 12:20, so I need to crack on because assume 4 hours to do it, and the only thing it says that can be work in progress is my range plan, of which it is, but everything else needs to be done, and like my lineup isn't rendered or anything. It's just hand drawn for myself, not even in pen. So I just need to do my brand and concept, my target market, then my development of ideas. My lineup is supposed to be rendered, but I am not going to worry too much about that for now because I do have the lineup roughly on there. Problem is I think I need to do some scanning of my sketchbook to get the samples, the fabrics onto there, and I really can't be bothered to go upstairs at the moment because I'd have to pack up, take everything up and then come back down because I'd rather work down here. A little conflicted with that right now, to be honest. The thing is, lately it's been such a tough time. I even ended up quitting my job. It was just all too much for me. I'm really trying to get back on my feet and catch up on everything and, you know, get my life together. That is what we're gonna do. One all-nighter at a time. Eventually there will be no all-nighters, but until that point there may be another one this week. Let's hope there's not. because I'm gonna get jitters in a second and one Lucozade ain't gonna cut it, and if I caffeinate myself I will be shaking everywhere. I'm gonna get started now. Let's get crack-a-lacking.
Pushing me away on the surface.
Oh my god, it is almost 9 o'clock. I'm kind of done for. So far I've got these slides. Dun dun dun. I should probably go upstairs and do some scanning.
On the surface, on the surface, I comprehend what you misinterpret. On the surface.
So welcome. This is my presentation for this project that I put together. So first of all, looking into HIUT, I was actually very excited to be able to do a live brief, especially with HIUT. I asked if I had any questions. Okay, let's talk. So this lighting is probably atrocious. I don't know if it'll help to open the blinds. That's not the right way. Better or worse, I don't know, I'll find out later. But oh my god, it was so nerve-wracking. So once I got into talking, I tried to keep calm and stay in the flow of it, and I was just moving my hands so much so that I can keep myself talking and not pause. But I think I answered the questions alright, and it was a lot less nerve-wracking than I thought it would be, and I hope I spoke for the correct amount of time, because I don't even know how long I spoke for. I just like completely winged the whole presentation, because I feel like if I went through a run-through, I'll say all the points that I want to say and then I'll forget them for when I do the actual presentation with them. Either I have to practice a million times and have it like rehearsed and memorized, or I have to completely wing it, because if I go in between I will forget everything. I hope it was okay. Today is Wednesday and I had a digital embroidery class in which I was doing these little orchids. I was trying to digitalize these orchids so next week I can stitch them out. I didn't finish and I could have stayed behind to carry it on, but my priority was to get home and work on this assignment I've got for now. This morning it was such a stress because I had to have had my stitch plan already and my drawing already. Right before catching the bus, I got the light box and printed a photo of orchids and like traced over it. A bit cheeky of me, but at least I had the drawing and I didn't have time to scan it in, so I scanned it with my phone, put it onto my OneDrive, and then when I got to uni it was already there, accessible. And although I didn't have a stitch plan ready, no one did, so it was okay because we just went over the stitch plan together, my teacher, and I just cracked on with that until 1 o'clock. I was there from 10 to 1, then I caught the bus home. The deadline's at 4 p.m. tomorrow. I have a lot to do and I've yet to go uni tomorrow again to drop in my stuff. I had my presentation and I was jumping around my flat everywhere because all of that adrenaline just had me like bouncing off the walls. I took a shower, I cleaned the shower, I did the laundry, and I had so much energy but like no brain power. So about by 6-7 p.m. I was gone, I was asleep. And now I am here and I'm just reading through the brief. I'm just seeing what the deliverables are so that I can make a list and get cracking on with that. We had to choose one look to make the flats for the front and the back, so I picked the corset one and then realised how many flaws there were in my original drawing and really spent some time working on that. Turns out my bigger mistake was only doing the fronts and backs for one look. Some of my peers in my class had attained higher grades and those people had done the fronts and backs for their entire collection. So if that was a way for going above and beyond, I would like to start incorporating that into my own work, as I didn't think to do it for the whole thing. Now I've spent 2.5 hours turning this into this. Thought I'd be done in 45 minutes with a pair of jeans. It actually took me ages trying to figure out the lacing, so this is the process. I was thinking for sure that is the winner, and then I realised it would only go through the eyelet and not the fabric, so I need to have it behind somehow. So that is what I came up with. All I'm doing is adding the back to this pair of jeans, so let's see how long that takes.
Darling, you should hurry home. I left the keys under the front door mat. Oh, it won't be long until I roll home. Please allow me to love you like mine.
It's only because I was losing my sanity.
My slumber got disturbed. Oh.
we've hit a bit of a problem. But this doesn't fit on the sheet anymore, so I'm gonna have to shrink them all down, but I'm only gonna do that when I am done. It's now almost 2 a.m. and I've finally finished the range plan. Somehow it's taken me 10 hours to fill in, and I really thought it would only take me 2 hours. But at least now that's done, I can start on my portfolio. 14 hours to go. After that, I feel so accomplished. I feel like I don't even have an assignment left because I submit as I go, so now I feel like I've done it all, but I need to go back into the mindset and just work hard for the next 14 odd hours, maybe 12 hours because I've got to go into uni as well. Wish me luck.
Only hoping for the worst. 3 a.m. sentimental thoughts.
More than 2 hours of me tracing around this just to do this. Oh my god, that's satisfying though. Ta-da! In an ideal world, I would have cut these out, but I don't have another 3 hours to be spending doing that. This is what we have and this is what we're gonna deal with. I need to get started on the portfolio because guess what? 4 o'clock and I have 12 hours left. So let the countdown begin because I haven't even started a portfolio and I'm terrible at making them.
Oh, to win you in my life. What's getting in the way?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to give in for a nap, like 7:30 at the moment, and I just can't go on, so maybe 2 hours and then carry on. I'm really scared of risking 2 hours though, because that's quite a lot of time that I could get possibly my portfolio finished in. It's a risky move, but it might be worth it. This is gonna be such a bad portfolio. This is how we're looking, a bit shabby. I ended up waking up at 10ish and I just got started. I rendered my lineup, made the rest of my portfolio, did a self-assessment sheet, waited for the bus, had some toast. Oh, I needed that toast, I hadn't eaten in ages. Now I've just headed into uni so I can hand in my sketchbook then.
Probably how I behave towards you with all the love strongly desire pushing me away. On the surface, on the surface, on the surface, I comprehend what you misinterpret.
From back home said that she's about, so I'm gonna quickly go say hi to her. I don't think I'll be out for long, probably gonna head home straight after, but I just want to say hi quickly. I just had a chocolate spread toast, so I'm really hoping I don't have chocolate all over my face. I just had a lesson, so it was for a dissertation prep. I hadn't done the task yet, so it was a bit awkward, but someone had done even less than me, so it was like all okay. It'll be in 2 weeks time where I have a one-on-one and I can just focus all that time up until then, catching up and then doing the next task. So yesterday I ended up going to sleep at like 6 again and sleeping all the way until 10:30, and I'm still so tired, but now I've got a webinar. My class was at 11 till 11:50 and then the webinar is from 12 to 5:45, which is actually really long and probably not the wisest decision because I should catch up on sleep since I've got a shift at 6:30. I also need to pop to town to do a return. It's the last day for that today and I might have to go during the webinar and just listen in. I'm just so tired. If I find out that the webinar is recorded and it'll be sent out to us, I might just go and take a nap. That might be the plan, the way forward. I started this week looking so much less tired than I am now. Like I can't even hold the camera properly, like I'm like shaky tired. Oh, don't do it kids, don't do it. Don't put like full force 2 weeks before a deadline because that isn't long enough. I just hope it went okay. So I gave in my submission and I had also messaged my teacher whether I need to give in a sampling folder with the tech demonstrations we did. She didn't reply until like 6 p.m. so I was like okay, and I didn't submit any sampling folder and I hope it's okay because she replied and she's like, yeah, you do need it. I've got some videos that I made for the whole duration that I was making them as tutorials, so I'm just gonna like chuck them into Premiere Pro and just put them together for their easy viewing and put it into my OneNote, put that on YouTube privated so that they know that I've done it and I did attend and I did participate, even though I didn't finish all the samples and I'm planning on finishing them next week.
Hey, I shine, it's hard to miss it. You are so optimistic. Thinking you could get like me. You ain't really bad at I see. I clean as new white teeth, don't compare it to me being in the same